Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for January 16th. This week we've got news for Masterpiece Legends and mainline Transformers. Brahmin Toys put out a lot of pictures, or a few pictures, of both Silverhawks and Centurions. We got stuff going on with Star Wars, including some decent sales. Of course, G.I. Joe Classified stuff showing up 5 months early. And of course, more Transformers. So we're going to talk about all this stuff coming up. Starting out at Show Z, they've got a fourth-party MP52 Skywarp. And the thing about this one is this is a different company. So there's two different companies making it. And this is the one that is $99.99. I'm ordering the $85 one. I should have that one coming whenever that one comes in. But there's two different companies. And this one here is supposed to be more close to the Masterpiece. Also comes with LED head sculpt. We also have incoming the Magic Square Trailbreaker reissue coming in stock right now. It is $49.99 and looks pretty good. I've got the figure. Pretty solid figure overall. Unlike their Perceptor though, Perceptor looks like it's got a new paint job. This does not look like it's got that type of paint job. And of course, those of you who are trying to finish off your Generation Toy Guardian, the Foo Fighter is coming in stock at Show Z, $155 to finish that set finally after 4 years? I don't really know. Okay, so getting into some Masterpiece Transformers, well, Takara says it's Masterpiece, but the Shuki Trainbot, there's the box in. The box will be coming in. Obviously, it's long and narrow like a train, so it comes in alt mode, I guess. And here is the bot mode out of the box. And again, this is a competition with Moon Studio. We've got another one of these that they're going to be showing here in just a second, but I think Moon Studio might be winning. So a ton of pictures for Gatsui, which we're just going to look at a couple, but it does look phenomenal in the train mode. So that looks outstanding. The price is officially $200, so a little cheaper than the other one, but still crazy in price, in my opinion, for the size, scale, and aesthetic that you get with it. But it does look like a good train. I think Gatsui is better than Shuki side by side. So looking at them, I do think it is a better looking bot. But at the end of the day, I gotta say something. Moon Studio is pulling a Zeta and bot blocking. Just the bot looks so much better. So maybe the alt mode is better for Takara and the bot mode is better for the Moon Studio. But at the end of the day there, I think most people care about the combined mode too. So it might be a great combined mode. We don't know much about it. And so with that, jury's still out. But it's really leaning towards Moon Studio being better overall. So that being said, the Takara one still has a really clean looking leg though. It looks pretty nice from the front. Now, maybe from the back it's a little kibbly, but that does look pretty nice. That does look pretty good. So the jury's still not out, like I said, because it might look great in combined mode. So we got pictures of Flame Toys Fury model, Fury model, Leo Prime, official images, and looks pretty cool, looks pretty interesting. It is a bit of a stylized take on the character, which the character itself looks stylized to me anyway. So it looks pretty good for what it is. That is a gigantic shield that I guess doubles as a head in a way for the lion. But man, it's just big, a giant cape. Looks pretty interesting for what it is. So this was originally supposed to be a completely pre-made, painted version, and now it's going to be a model kit. So targeting that lower price point, but with the lower price point, it still has 50 points of articulation once you put it all together and all that kind of stuff. So targeting the lower price point is kind of smart in a way. I'm not sure how many people are in on these model kits. Some people love it, some people don't. It includes a ton of accessories right here, as you can see, with the shield, the cape, and all of this good stuff, the weapons, a lot of accessories. So we got more pictures of the Flames Toys Fury model Rodimus as you build this, and it looks pretty good. So a lot of people are telling me how good this is going to look, and they're really inspired by the design. They like it, and they think it would be the best Rodimus that's out there. Now, I don't think it's tall enough to be a masterpiece to work on your masterpiece shelf, but it still looks pretty good. And so with that, I'm actually impressed. It looks better than I thought. And I was looking at renders. We were looking at renders. We were looking at promo shots. But this is a real in-hand picture. and I think it looks better. It actually looks better than anything I've seen. Now, I don't know if somebody's taking the time to add paint apps to this or something, but it does look great, and I kind of like it. So overall, this is a win. So MFC keeps coming out with more pictures of the R42ZD Zeph, and it's the IDW Deathsaurus, and here it is with colored images of the prototype, and it looks pretty good. Now, I'm understanding this is actually going to be smaller than X-Transbots. I wasn't sure at first. I did look into it, so it's about 3 inches shorter than X-Transbots. So looking at that, it still looks really good. It's 2 good options coming our way, depending on what size you want and your budget. They updated some pictures of a head sculpt, and it looks pretty interesting. Now, I can't really tell you if it's accurate or not, because I don't really know. So I think it looks good, it looks interesting, and it would work for me if I was in on this guy. I'm going with the X-Transbots one because I want bigger is better, and I want to scale with what I've already got for Star Saber. Doesn't change the fact it looks good, and what I know of Deathsaurus, it looks right to me. So I like it, it looks good, and with this character, I'm sure you can pick whatever style you want, and it'll work because the vast majority of people, I don't think, are really stuck on a specific aesthetic. Well, or at least in the market I'm in. Alright, so more pictures of KO primes, and here's more colors coming out. So I think we've seen some of this before, but this was a really cool picture of the 4 of them side by side that are still coming. Now, we did already get a standard one. We got one with the white legs. We got one with the silver legs. We got one with the battle damage and the chrome. Now, the black one, which is either sleep mode or dead Optimus Prime, depending on what you want to call it, that one is already coming in stock at Show Z. And then we have the Evangelion, we've got the Shattered Glass, and we got the Ultra Magnus ISK one. So Big Firebird that made that nice E version of RC is actually making their Mocha. But the thing about it is that I think it's coming into stock at Show Z right now. So $135 if you're in on this one. If you liked what they did with the first one, you're going to like what they did with this one. If you didn't like the first one, well, you probably won't like this one, but still looks pretty good. And here is the back shot, so you got to get the front and the back. Of course, I don't worry about the back of my Transformers. They can have all the kibble they want. It's not really that big of a deal to me. They can leave all that kibble on there if they like. And this is a pretty cool shot, just some posability, and I think it looks really good. It really is a nice figure. I don't really know that it's truly a character in the lore or they're making it up. I actually don't know, but I think it looks cool enough to pick one up. Here's the packaging that it's going to come in, which is very reminiscent of the RC or the IC. So, Muka. That's pretty cool looking. I think they changed the name. I think it was Mocha before, now it's Muka. Maybe I was wrong, but I keep calling it Mocha, but it says Muka there. Here's what she looks like inside her clamshell, and of course, all of the extra kibble can be taken off for the vast majority of it to clean this bot up if you like, and you can turn her into a parts former, or you can keep her a true converting robot. And Bingo Toys is putting out more of their pictures of, well, this is a Shockwave, and kind of showing some kind of size difference in it. So it's kind of cool. I didn't show all of these. I'm not going to show all of these because there's a ton of pictures. But this is next to a Bumblebee, which those are all pretty close to the same size. Here's a Prime. And so this is going to be a pretty big dude. But in my opinion, I think it's going to be big. So it looked good. It's pretty solid. I'd like to see some reviews of this guy, but it's going to be kind of interesting how this goes. Now, I already thought this was kind of interesting that somebody put together one of these scale charts, so that's kind of cool, and that's kind of interesting. It's kind of like, you know how we have that Sunbow that I kind of disagree with myself. I wonder how many people are going to disagree with this chart or charts like this that start popping up, but it's still kind of cool. It keeps the whole scale thing going, and you can get an idea of how they all fit together. Hopefully, that different companies making the same similar characters would stick to a similar scale, but it does. Toy World's pretty big, and then Takara's is kind of small, so the scale's already kind of blown when it comes to this line. So X-Transbots has been kind of keeping on download for like a week or two on the down low, and here's more pictures of their hotshot. Anyway, it looks pretty good. And I'm just kind of blown away with how good the bot mode looks. I think the alt mode, we've seen that. We knew how good it was going to look. But now we get to see the bot mode. This thing looks outstanding. I'm really impressed with how it looks. And it's just one of those where I really do hope that they engineer the trailer or whatever they're doing to make the parts hold together. I hope I don't have to put this in it. So A, it's not top heavy, and B, so I can display this in bot mode because it looks so good. I mean, I really think it looks that good, and I don't think that the trailer's in it, so I'm kind of hoping this is one of those things where you could build the Defensor and have this stand next to it. So looking at FunBee Studios, they're making the cyberbase for the masterpiece Bumblebee, the MP21. So if you can't figure out what to do with an old MP21, or I guess MP21 KO, then do this. Get the trailer. It's so interesting, kind of a Winnebago looking thing. That is cool. I don't know if it's something I need in my collection, but it's still interesting that they're doing it. And then here we go, where it opens up. It stores some weapons, and it's got its own stand. So kind of interesting there. It has functionality. It's not just a display piece. And you can put what appears to be a Legend scale Hasbro figure in the back. It'll fit fine. You can haul it with you. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. Where do they think this stuff up? So getting into some Legends news here. Now, it's interesting that New Age is putting out some pictures of a revised version of their Hound. So I know exactly why, and I'll tell you in just a second. But here he is showing what he can kind of get down here with his cage and all that good stuff. Kind of interesting right there. And it shows that you kind of get a missile in the leg for a Build-A-Figure. Here's updated pictures of the bot or the alt mode, sorry. And it's kind of cool. I mean, I think we've kind of seen all this already, but you get to see all the different angles. And I think these are still just renders. They're still in the design process. So you can see the forearms hiding out on the bottom. Kind of interesting. And here are the changes. The robot mode feet are thinner. Lower legs are longer. Hips are reduced. Car mode side step are removed. And new seats have been designed. Head sculpt has been revised. And shoulder cannon is thicker. If you can see all this from before and after. But here's why they did it. Because of Magic Square. Well, here's the thing. I pre-ordered the Magic Square. I thought from the get-go Magic Square looked better. Now, with the revised changes, it might not be so easy of a decision, but Magic Square's got some wide birthing hips going on there. And then you look over on the other side, there's still pluses and minuses to each one, and we know New Age will paint it well, present it well. Well, you'll get bare bone plastic with Magic Square. So Magic Square's got to up their paint game and their presentation game. Their design game is usually on point, but this is going to be a tough one in the long run. For some reason, I thought the Iron Factory already put this Soundwave out, but there's pictures of kind of the production and how there's a whole bunch of them about to get packaged and the packaging process and all that kind of stuff. I love showing these pictures. It's kind of fun. I like seeing these pictures. It's interesting, exciting, and there you go. But I thought it was already released. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's still on the way. So there are pictures of Magic Square Devastator with Magic Square Minosaur. I think they look really good together, and I think everybody's right. The KO oversize of Minosaur is way too big to scale with this. So I've got the KO oversize, but I made it work on my shelf, and I don't know if I'm going to upgrade, because $80 per set times 3 sets, $240 to get this, but it looks amazing. It does. It really looks good. So Dr. Wu is showing images of their Prime Commander G1 Micro Master Scale G1 Optimus Prime, not a cassette. It's the DWE 04G Gold and then the 04W White, and so just more colors of something I already put out. So it still looks pretty cool. These are really, really small. Like they probably fit in a Legends Prime trailer small. But anyway, there's the gold and the white, and they transform. So pretty cool. Micro Transformers. So if you're one of those people that had enough willpower to not eat carbs for the first 15 days of this year, you probably are the same person that had the willpower to not buy slag. Well, I bought slag already. So anyway, but I'd like to get another one for $25. So some of the Walmarts are selling them for $25. Some are up in their price to $52. It's really the luck of the draw. Are you one of the lucky candidates to get one of these? And I gotta say, I'm gonna have to take a road trip, but not anytime soon, sadly. So I'm going right at the biggest news of the week for mainline collectors, and that is Junkyard. So this does look pretty good, actually. I really like that Hasbro likes to do repaints, slight remolds, and redesign, and this is the perfect character. Like, give us 6, 7, 8 of these. Who really cares? They'll sell. They'll sell well, and you can produce all the other versions in less numbers because not everybody's going to be in on every iteration, and you already have most of the mold made. So with that, this is a perfect candidate for maybe Generation Selects and all that kind of stuff down the road and make them all. But it looks good. I really like how they're doing this. Now, comparing it to Wreck-Gar. Now, I have Wreck-Gar. I never did a review of him, but I did show him in my McFans Toys Legends review. So he does look pretty good. He's not perfect. He's not the best thing ever, but he's not terrible. So he's kind of middle ground, and for $30, or for a while, $26, was a pretty good option. Side by side, they look great. They're different enough to be distinguished, but similar enough you can match the parts. You can pick the parts that are the same, and that's okay, because they're hitting a $30 price point. Here's the alt mode, and I do think it's a pretty decent alt mode. It's a relatively simplistic transformation, but yet it's complex and sophisticated enough that it blows away all of the other mainline versions. And one of the mainline versions made absolutely no sense how it transformed. I was transforming that for my McFans Toys video, and I thought, this thing makes no sense. But anyhow, this one actually is intuitive. So we do have pictures of the Takara Tommy Mall releases of all these Kingdom figures: Waspinator, Slammer, Pipes, Shadow Panther, and the Studio Series Sweep Brawn Wheeljack, and then of course Generation Select Lift Ticket. But with all of this, I have to say that I used to think that they were going to go back to repainting stuff for Takara, but I really think that the Hasbro and Takaras are released with the same paint apps. If you see a difference, I'd like to know, but I'm kind of thinking that A, that's a good thing, and B, I don't want to have to track down multiple versions or try to pick which one I think's better, so I like it this way. So out of all these, I'm actually most interested in the Slammer. I'm interested in all of them, but the Slammer itself, I don't have it yet. It should be coming in relatively soon, and it is going to work with the 30th Anniversary Generations version of Metroplex, and I start to wonder still, will it also work with the new version they're going to make eventually? And they're also supposed to be making another version that's not even from G1, but I would like to see another proper G1 Metroplex. So they're changing the packaging on the Studio Series. Here is the Perceptor, and it's going to be packed with an open front window and a just cardboard on the top. I believe the older ones had some plastic on the top, so kind of transparent on the top too. So that's gone, and it's open. You can touch it. You can reach in there and move his head around and put him in a pose, I guess. I don't know. But I don't like that, and the Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff, it just kind of looks silly. I know the LeBron James were losing their heads because of this type of packaging, so I worry about this. We'll see how this goes, whatever problems pop up, but will they keep going in the direction of this? Will they go back to giving us the package we want, or will they all be closed box in the future? So we got some more pictures of some of the mainline figures coming out. This is Beast War Sandstorm and the Legacy Deluxe Kickback in hand images, and they look pretty interesting. It looks pretty much what you expect. It's just repaints of the Scorponok on the left, and on the right, the Kickback looks pretty good for the mainline. I think that Hasbro has stepped their game up, and well, they're using Takara's engineering, and I like it. Look to get all these Insecticons in the future, hopefully. Looking at the drag strip, I think the drag strip looks pretty good. He does, of course, have some of the gappiness on the inside of the legs and the arms. A little bit on the arms. It's actually not bad on the arms. It's mostly on the legs, but overall, looks pretty good. I think people are kind of not liking what they did on the shoulders, but it's going to be very simplistic transformation compared to third-party and all that. But, speaking of that, they are going the third-party route with the clip-on piece split in half and clip the parts on the arm instead of having the whole arm in there. So Combiner Wars, of course, is a thing of the past. The Combiner Wars style is gone, and here we go. And I like this. I think it's going to be a great looking bot when this set is done. And we got to look at more of the micro machines, and looking at them, they're just small micro machines that don't transform, and I don't know if they're going to be sold in packs of 5 or 2 or 4 or what. But still, this is coming to the aisles, and it's something with the Transformers brand on it. Is it just Transformers in name only? So I heard some rumblings from people about the Transformers Prime RC that's coming up from Hasbro, and it looks a bit different. And some people saying that they felt like it was a disappointment for a lot of reasons. The wheels on the side of the legs, but the size is she just seemed a little small to me. So for me, that would be my biggest hang-up. Yes, the giant wheel hanging off the sides probably is not the best looking thing either, but man, she's tiny. I don't think she's supposed to be that small, but I guess hitting a price point, is it worth it to hit that price point? Still, kind of interesting. She does turn into a cool motorcycle. I guess this is what happens when you put the motorcycle mode first and the bot mode way last, I guess. So, Toy Fair is canceled for 2022. And the thing about this is that the whole reason is because of, the old Dodge Omnicron. So, yeah, I said Dodge Omnicron. Anyway, so the thing about this is, looking at the Star Wars sites, they were given a little bit more information, but Hasbro and Walmart, Target, and a few others pulled out. And there were still 700 vendors that wanted to attend, and they decided to cancel it. So it would have still gone on, but they canceled it. So with that, Hasbro has a lot of pull, and if Hasbro stayed in, they would have still done it. I guarantee it. But when they pulled out, it was over. And whatever excuse, yes, it could have been the Dodge Omnicron, but it's canceled. And now we're going to get to watch these hour-long boring live streams to reveal 4 items that are just repaints. So far, I haven't heard of any TFCons getting canceled just yet because of the Dodge Omnicron. But I want to say, speaking firsthand, you're probably hearing on the news, the Omnicron is, yeah, I said Omnicron. I sound like an idiot moron. I know. I'm trying to escape the YouTube bots on this one. But let me tell you, they're saying that it is way less than the original form that was created in the test tube. And I agree. It is not as severe as that original form. But people are still dying from it, so be careful. If you go to these cons, then you need to take proper precautions. Be safe, be healthy. If you're healthy, stay healthy. If you're sick, don't go. I'm not going. All right, so Ramen Toys is busy at work. And I got to say, they are doing really good work with this. This is Monstar. So this was one of their earlier designs, and they've been making a couple of different prototypes and kind of showing off what all it can do and how it's going to look. But I think they keep working on refining it. Here's another picture of it, and of course next to it, so you can see the size, and there's Quicksilver next to it. So this is going to be a really cool looking line, and as they keep working and working till they gain perfection, it's going to be awesome. And this isn't even every part broken down. This is a lot of the parts broken down to show what goes into it and making it. I think this is their 3rd prototype they're working on to get all of the tolerances correct. So looking really awesome. This is going to be an outstanding figure. And here is they call him Cyborg. So looks really awesome. I am really impressed with this. Such a beautiful, clean look. And it looks like it's going to have tuned colors to it. And the head sculpt is on point. I'm loving this. Now, this is a render. This is not a prototype. And I believe that the other half of the Cyborg is going to be identical to when they make the Doc. So, Doc Terror. So that looks good the way it is. I am really impressed. Oh, and one more thing. Here's some Toon Color chest pieces. Why would they have Toon Color chest pieces? Or not Toon, but more, well, Toon and Toy. So they're not the muted colors, and they're not the dirty wash. And will there be another release with updated head sculpts maybe? I don't know for sure, but I gotta say, I'm pretty excited, and I'm going to be in on another set. So we've got reports that G.I. Joe classified bats and alley vipers are showing up at Walgreens and at Targets. So pretty awesome that they're starting to show up, and they're in the wild. Now, I pre-ordered 5 of each of these from Entertainment Earth, but they haven't shipped yet. So I'm waiting for those, and I look forward to getting those. So I'll be patiently waiting because I got a really good deal on them. They gave you some sort of crazy amount off to order 5 of each. So I can just sit and wait. But if I see one in the wild, I don't know if I could pass on them. Here's what they look like in the case. So I thought they were shipped as separate cases of each. It's 3 of each in a case, I guess. I guess that's how it's going. So, pretty cool, pretty exciting, pretty interesting, and I'm actually looking forward to getting my hands on, my sets. So people are getting letters. I didn't get this letter, but Star Wars Razor Crest backers, I didn't get this email. What's going on? I got a few of these coming. But anyway, it should be coming soon. So I'm hoping to get it in. Now, I did order mine different than I did with Unicron. I do have a single, and then I got a double. So I didn't do them all in one order. So hopefully they come in. I get at least one of them early, but we'll see. So if you're still old school like me and you like the Vintage Collection more than Black Series, then you could get really excited about this sale, or you could be kicking yourself for buying them all at full price. But they're on sale at GameStop right now. You can see what's up here, what is on sale, what's not on sale, what's sold out already on sale. So it's a pretty good sale, but it tells me that we're losing interest in Vintage Collection and Retro Collection. Well, Retro Collection seems to be doing okay, but Vintage Collection collectors out there are jumping ship, I guess, moving to Black Series, or just quitting entirely. This stuff is just going on sale fast. Now, I don't know if I will offend anybody by putting a spoiler alert out, whatever. But I'm going to talk about Book of Boba Fett, but I don't know. The picture might be a spoiler, so close your eyes. Anyway, I am hearing a lot of people that are hating on the Book of Boba Fett. Now, I like it. I enjoy it. We're watching the Book of Boba Fett in the post-Return of the Jedi era. And I enjoy that part. Some stuff's a little silly and quirky, and a lot of people feel like Boba Fett's watered down. Now, I want to say that I like some aspects and some elements, and some I don't, but overall I still enjoy watching Star Wars. But a lot of people are giving it a ton of hate. And the problem isn't that it's a bad show. The problem is that it's a TV show. These are supposed to be movies that follow a certain climax and high points and low points. Well, every TV show has lots of low points they got to fill that time with instead of just making a 2-hour movie. So there's where the problem is. It could have just been a 2-hour movie. Instead, they're stretching 2 hours into 5.5, and people are not liking what they fill it with. The overall story, on the other hand, might be pretty decent. I'm in it for the long haul. So, let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is going on out there that I've missed? And other properties and franchises that I usually talk about that I didn't give updates. Maybe I missed something. Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.